is we get a shortened expiration week. My apologies. The market's being closed on Monday, February 16th. We'll only have 4 days of trading next week, heading into February 20th expiration. So you want to keep that in mind as well. You see here, let me just go over some of the recent updates, site updates. So we released a beta version of an import for the portfolio. Now, this isn't a brokerage link. This isn't a trader link into the portfolio. What this is an import. You have your portfolio. You just started a Power Options trial. You like the tools. You decided to subscribe. You keep seeing us show the portfolio tools. Let's just go to radioactive trading positions. You see us show the management that you can view. Hey, the stock has moved down, let's go craft. I'm going to go to position actions and position analysis. It gives me a breakdown of my current position, where I stand. We've rolled this put down a couple times, got a lot of income. And it shows me no rollout opportunities here for this. Actually, there are a couple, and I could do those manually on the profit and loss chart. But in the rollout opportunities, you'd see ways that you could adjust your married put position, ways that you could adjust your stock position. Let's see what they got for Planet. It's probably going to show me income method number 9 on Planet Fitness, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't looking at these today. There it goes. All right, so we've got some rollout opportunities here to take the profit off of our put, roll down to a new put, change the risk level a little bit. The 95 was about the lowest I'd go. Definitely would not go the 92.50, but it gave me a much better break even on the position. But as I'm looking at it, I can say, okay, well, that's great to see it numerically. What am I doing? I'm taking the profit, 1650 from my 105 put, buy 10 strikes lower, and pay 11.75. Okay, so we're about swapping $5 to lower our price and lower our break even down. But that is going to increase the risk. Why would I do this? Because I expect the stock to come back up in price. That's all talked about in the blueprint, our full course on married puts and the 12 different income methods. But as you're doing covered calls, you're doing the wheel strategy, you're tracking naked puts and power options, and the stock goes below your put strike price, you go here, it'll show you what the covered calls would look like if you allowed assignment and rolled the covered calls, or just rolling the put. Yeah, the wheel strategy is something that's been around since I've been with Power Options. No one just called it that, right? People selling puts to then let it be assigned, convert to covered calls. And if that's assigned, then convert back into the naked put, cash secured put positions. Yeah, but you go to simulate trade. You see the before and after picture here, and the before and after graph. Most of the time it's overlain on top of each other. That's something that the programmers are working out. So you can see clearly the before and after picture to decide, would I or would I not do this position? All right. Now, where I'm going with that, of course, is this idea. You just started your trial to Power Options. You don't have any positions in your portfolio. You just created a portfolio. Let's see if we even have anything in the January 30th position. Oh, we do. We have the NVIDIA. So how would I enter a position in the portfolio? Okay, well, we entered a caller NVIDIA back on January 30th for a discussion. We went to select strategy. We went to long collar, and we entered in this position for NVIDIA that we're tracking, priced at 191, sold the February 30th. Hey, it expired today, 200 call, and we have the far out in time, August 200 put. Hey, hedged a little bit of the married put position. Stock is down 4.4%. With this radioactive collar, we're only down 0.7%. Good. Okay, so we're going to roll this. We're going to let this expire. We're going to sell a new call next week against it. You have 12 or 15 positions. So you'd go in and you'd enter your next covered call, your next married put, your next long caller, your next calendar spread. It's time consuming. So the import feature here, if you have a CSV file, we're working on it, working on the beta approach of it. But if you have any of that information there, the CSV data for an entry and exit for your position, or the entry for your position, you can paste it in here, and it's likely going to be the position. So it's going to save you time with entering the positions as well. All right, now, that being said, in addition to the alerts, of course, that we're talking about, the CSV importing for uses, other site updates recently in January, we allow to keep notes, diary, and we made some adjustment to the notes as well, and the portfolio stress testing was done. So as I'm tracking all of my positions in the portfolio, I can take a look at stress test. and it showed me what my position is going to look like if the stock falls 20% of its current value, 15%, 10%, 5%. Where we are, we saw current liquidation value is 0.7. Where would I be if the stock moves up 5, moves up 10, moves up 15? Remember, this is a hedged position, so you're not expecting that. So it's using the calculations, of course, to go ahead and do that and and give you an evaluation of your stress test. And we'll show you all positions. We just have this one position in here, but it show you all of that as well. And in addition to that, something you won't see right now that Greg, myself, Ernie, and others are working on in the background, I'm going to change screens real quick here into, thank you, Patrick. Patrick's really a fan of the stress testing feature in his portfolios there. And now this is more along the lines of what my actual account is. And what I mean by that, of course, you can see we've got, as I mentioned, the covered call monthly picks of the day and the naked put weekly picks of the day. This was a customer question I was working on this week on an XOM bear put bear put vertical spread on XOM, and the married puts, of course, as well. And then we see this one thing that's called New Alert Manager Beta. So this is something that I'm going to give you a sneak preview on. We're working on right now. We're working out the bugs on it. But this is something I've mentioned to you before that I want to see and that I kind of asked for. And don't be annoyed by this. I've been putting extra alerts in all over the place to test this. So some of these aren't even real portfolios. Some of these aren't even active portfolios. They're just testing portfolios. Okay. But the alerts page itself, when I enter a position, I can set an alert one position at a time. So in addition to, as I mentioned, without the import feature, if I have 12 positions, whether they be covered calls, cash secured, naked puts, a lot of times I'm in coaching sessions, someone has 12 covered calls, 2 naked put positions, 5 credit spreads of some kind or another, 2 strangles, a long call. You know, they're trading multiple strategies. So do I, with different allocations of your portfolio for safety. But again, I enter my 12 or 15 covered call positions, probably not all at once, but as I roll them and adjust them, but as I'm entering them into the portfolio, on the portfolio page, I'd click alert next to each one and set what I wanted for the stock limit alert, the option limit alert, if it goes in the money, out of the money, if I've made 85% of what I expected to make, if I'm in a bullish strategy, and by search was for the stock to be above the SMA 20 or the SMA 50, I want to be notified if it changes. Hey, if I'm in 3 days to earnings, if I'm in 3 days to expiration, other ones to set. I've got 8 or 12 positions. Every other Monday, I'm opening 3 or 4 bull put credit spreads, and then I have to go in individually into each one and tell Power Options that, hey, I want the alerts on this position to be, if the put is, if the stock's within 1% of the short put strike price, if it goes below the SMA 20, if the stock has fallen 7%. Okay, I do that on the first one. I have to go and do it at the second one. So what I wanted, we did a couple things with this, but I wanted that for everything. So I could say, okay, here, a bulk alert operation, I'm going to apply to positions, or I'm going to apply to strategy. And I'm going to go to bull put credit spreads. And then I can set the alerts that I want here for stock price limit, stock percent change, option range in or out of the money, option delta if I want to do that, days to expiration, SMA above or below the SMA 20, SMA 50, SMA 2, and then I can apply alert to selected. Now what does selected mean? I already told it that I want to do it for any bull put credit spreads. And I already have templates set, I believe, for bull put triggers, number 1, bull put triggers, number 2. I could have put those in. And the idea is that now I go to bull put credit. Let's just go to search, folks. And I'm going to go to, let's just do Phillips 66. I'm just going to add it to portfolio right now. And yes, we're going to do more research and analysis. And we're just going to put it into this one here, the MACD under 3 days. All right. And let's just do 5 contracts apiece. Okay, he's probably working on it. So what would have come up here when I'm entering this bull put credit spread, there'd be a field here. Would you like to use your template alerts? Would you like to use your default alerts for bull put credit spreads? And I just check the box, say yes, and submit it, and then it's done. So that's what I wanted by trade entry or to do bulk. So that's something new that you're going to hopefully see sometime in the near future here. I'm sorry, let me go back there to that alerts view and the beta. But you're going to have the ability to do it on, of course, the alert templates, which I showed you, or bulk alert operations by position or by legs, sell to open leg, buy to open leg, on the VIN, or you can select individual positions. So it's going to be allowing you to set bulk alerts and then just be able to select when you're entering a position, a bulk alert. So we still got some testing to do on that. But that's something that we're going to see. You're going to hopefully see within the next couple days there. So the portfolio, in my opinion, does what you're asking. And let me go to, oh, sorry, I know you're not seeing anything yet. Give me a second here. And let's go back to Power Options and let's go to there. Okay. So let me see. I want to go to on. So I got to go back to 2025. Okay. And AGI is a good example. This is mostly just, there's only one long stock entry, but there was a second long stock entry like there was with ON. Okay, so here we go. This is showing me that everything I did on this, I know it might not be the way that you account for it. I understand that. But originally opened ON at 58.85 and had the April 62.5 put. This was December of 2024. Now, did income method number one, adjusted the put, that's LP, adjusted the put a couple of times, sold a call, got assigned. I let it be assigned. I sold the put against the long put. I still had the 62.5 put in place. So I had a calendar put spread here, and it did exactly what I wanted. It dropped back down, got put back the stock, and closed out the position in that case. But every entry here of buying the stock here, as I'm tracking it in the portfolio on the live position on the portfolio, it's showing me an effective running cost per share. Let's go back to that. And so, for example, Planet Fitness is at originally purchased at $98.35. My effective cost per share is $108. This one I did the calendar put spread on AGI. Same thing I did on but I did this with AGI back in December. It had a bulletproof status of 354 at the time. So it's giving me a running cost basis of how I'd adjust it. We've got KHC from 29.81 down to 26. Caesars down from 28 to 25. And as you saw in that analysis by symbol, Patrick, or analysis view, it's taking into account every closed historical trade, every realized historical trade since I've had this opened. So then when I go to the profit and loss chart, and yes, I need to update that I was put the stock here at 40 and actually rolled to the March 42 put, if I'm not mistaken. And I did another income method number one on that already. So it might not be the way that you're looking for, and we can have those conversations another time. We can have the conversation on a coaching session or via email, Patrick, but it is recording everything that you do. And so you always have a running cost basis as you're rolling and adjusting your positions. You always see exactly where you're standing. And when I go to the position analysis of the profit and loss chart, it's using the effective cost per share number that's based on all the closed positions that you recorded. So you have that running track record. You have all of the adjustments in there.